It's Ed Sarpolus is on the other end of our line, one of the state's, the state's leading pollster, but also now with a brand new title. He's not with the MEA anymore. He's with Target Insights. Good morning, Mr. Sarpolus.
Good morning there. How are you doing?
Good. What's Target Insights?
It's a strategic consulting, marketing research firm, things I've done for the last 30-some years.
Okay, that's your own firm then?
Yes.
Very good. Congratulations on the new approach.
Thank you.
Now, what about the approach of who's winning in this back and forth? It's a debate over debates, really, is what it is, isn't it?
It's truly debate around debate. I would have to say that in the end we'll probably see debates. What form they'll take, I think it's up in the air, but I think they're both jockeying for position. Rick Snyder, obviously, in the lead in the polls, knows that he doesn't really want the debate. He hasn't been a strong debater in the past presentations he's had with his counterparts, and he doesn't want to take positions on issues that might make him more conservative or liberal. On the other side, Virg Bernero, trailing in the polls, feels that he needs the exposure, wants to expose Rick Snyder, so he's pushing for debate. So it's really a debate about debates.
It's kind of interesting because in the press release that came from the mayor's office, he says that we accepted 99% of what they wanted. All we asked for in return was neutral moderators and to have the debates at night instead of the middle of the day so people could see them. And there would be people, I would think, who would say, well, if you were 99% of the way there, why don't you just do it? You said you'd debate him anywhere, anytime. But I'm guessing you're going to say that it's more politically advantageous for the mayor to say, he's trying to duck me, he's in a bubble.
Well, definitely. He has to keep the battle going because, remember, the more attention on these debates, and Virg Bernero being the underdog right now in the polls, he can say, look, Rick Snyder's afraid of me, and he wants to debate. So, yeah, there's some political play here. At the same token, Virg Bernero does have the right to say, look, if you're serious about this, let's do this when we have the most people able to view these live, and they cannot be edited.
He said that the mayor told me a few minutes ago that one of the things the Snyder campaign insisted on was no streaming video, no streaming audio, as if he said the debates would be held in a closet so that no one would be able to hear them or hear the clips later on.
Well, if you go back to 1994 with Dick Austin versus Candace Miller, that debate, the one debate on public television, hurt Dick Austin's return to office. The same thing happened with Governor Blanchard and John Engler in 1990. You've got Dick DeVos and Governor Granholm. Yes, these debates, if they're streaming, will be used again in the public domain. So, yeah, Rick Snyder doesn't want any mistakes for the public to see.
But, I mean, Rick Snyder didn't get to be a top businessman by not being able to hold his own in a and let's not even call it a debate. Let's call it a discussion, because most of the time these debates aren't even debates anyway. They're just little candidate forums where they give mini speeches, aren't they?
They are, but you got to understand that Rick Snyder's background has not been in a position where he's been publicly exposed to have to answer questions off the cuff without a lot of preparation. It's been planned and orchestrated in the boardroom or behind the door. Rick Snyder's been more of a manager than a leader, so this is a much different position for him to be in, which are much more visible to the public about making verbal mistakes, or more than verbal mistakes, even the physical mistakes when you're standing close to a podium, touching somebody, that type of thing.
Or looking at your watch, like President George Herbert Walker Bush got excoriated for in the debate when he was president. Remember that?
That's correct. Or Dick DeVos with the way he looked on television. Yeah, all these things come into play. Rick Snyder wants to keep his lead, and he wants to make no mistakes going ahead between now and November.
If you're in the Snyder campaign and you're sitting in wherever their war room is right now, you're saying, you know what, let's let Bernero take his shots at us. Let's let him say we're ducking him. We'll just keep saying, you know what, we're going to stay on our message. We're going to have 90 town halls or whatever it is. We're going to talk to the people, and we'll take our chances with this business of him saying we're afraid to debate.
I would say that worked for him in the primary, doing the town house, not debating. So, yeah, in his mind, this should work for the general. The question would be is how much will the media pressure put on him? Even Daniel Howell this morning on his own blog, and he's a Republican-leaning, hey, look, we got to have debate. So in the end, it depends how much public pressure will be on Snyder to change what he's doing at the town halls.
I saw the news just reminded us a little earlier that over the past, I don't know, he mentioned 3 gubernatorial elections that in one case there were 0 debates.
Yes, well, that was Jeffrey Feiger against John Engler, and that was an easy one because coming out of the Dr. Kevorkian era, Feiger was very boisterous on a number of different issues. Jeffrey Feiger knew that John Engler wasn't going to debate him.
Yeah,
so that was an easy one for the public to swallow. This is much different. The state of Michigan's in a different situation economically. You got 2 new leaders, 2 viable candidates if they were in office to lead, and so I think the public would like something. The question will the candidates give it to us?
We sure would. Now, you said at the beginning of this interview at the outset that you figure sooner or later they will have some debates, that this is all just sort of jockeying, eh?
I believe so. I think they got to have them. Something for us.
All right. Thank you very much. Target Insights. Ed Sarpolus. What's the web address for Target Insights? We'll get it later. He's off. Probably hot-footing it. There's another call for Ed Sarpolus.